Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are discussing the last of the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis era NHL games in our quest for 30 NHL games in 30 days. Today we are discussing NHL 96. Now I made some pretty big takes when it came to 95 and 94. A lot of people were pretty vocal about it. Either they agreed or completely hated my take on the NHL 95 being better than NHL 94. Let's see how NHL 96 stacks up against 95 and 94 because it's got a lot to live up to. Now again guys, when I'm comparing these games, the one thing I do want to mention is I'm comparing year over year improvement. So the reason why, I mean, if you haven't watched my NHL 95 video, go back and watch it in detail. I show you all the examples that I'm talking about. But year over year, in my opinion, NHL 95 made one of the biggest leaps the entire franchise ever takes until probably about the introduction of the skill stick in NHL 07 or 08. Man, it's fun going through all these games because I completely forget all those years. But nonetheless, we'll see how NHL 96 stacks up as we exit the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis era in the NHL series. Guys, don't forget you can watch all of this live play out on my Twitch channel at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you did enjoy the video, please give it a like and subscribe for the most up-to-date NHL 22 content. All right, let's get into the video. All right, so loading into NHL 96, it clearly has the most polished and best looking menus and graphics so far. I mean, obviously just the background alone with just the ice, and then the teams, it's very colorful and bright compared to kind of the dark and grainy stuff that we've had so far leading into the series. So that is a big plus. However, the big negative in my opinion is that there really was no new additions to the game other than the graphical changes, meaning that there was no new modes, there was no new features really, and all you've really got is a new improved presentation. And while that goes a long way, again, I'm trying to think back in the day. If you're looking at video games to buy, there just isn't a huge reason to buy NHL 96 over NHL 95 because it really just didn't add a lot in terms of overall features and things like that. Now, the one thing I will say is that the menus look a lot better. They're much easier to read. It's a nice clean font. A little small, to be honest with you, but it's obviously a lot cleaner than what we've had. So even though, it didn't really add much substance, like there's really no new mode at all. There's still playoffs, regular season, where you're a GM basically, shootout, practice, all of that, which was in NHL 95. It's just in a much cleaner presentation. However, I will say that the presentation does look a lot better. All right, so now on to gameplay, and what were the new additions in NHL 96 compared to 95? Well, the first one is that you could actually choose your skill level. So you could play on Pro, Rookie, and All-Star, which did add a little bit more difficulty to the game, or make it a little bit easier for people that were struggling with it. Fighting was now back in the game. Fighting was removed, and I believe NHL 94-95, I'm assuming because it was the first 2 years of the partnership with the NHL and the NHLPA, and maybe one of them didn't want it in there, but there's no blood on the ice, but there is fighting back in the game. There was some new player moves. So there's the one-timer pass that was already in the game, but a give and go and a spin-a-rama, some other things like that, but they don't play very good. The game is still tough, and it's a few years away from being able to actually pull off dekes and things like that were actually smooth, okay? NHL 96 on Sega doesn't really pull these off all that effectively. One cool feature in terms of gameplay, again, it's very small, but you can check your opponent into the bench, which I thought was hilarious. The body checks definitely felt more satisfying, I will say that. But other than that, that's really it. So we'll play with the gameplay. I'll show you what it looks like, the sounds and everything like we normally do, and let me know what you think. Dude, there's no beating Broder here. That's off the bar! Oh my god, that was it. And they score. Unbelievable. That was off the bar, dude. Tough, man. Tough L. What a save. Bang! Dude, what an angle! Fedorov from Primo and Vernon. Let's go, dude. That at 1 second left in the game? I mean, we lost the game, but we got one. Ralston, Chorsky, and Fedorov, the 3 stars. Okay, I mean, that's a tough L, but... I mean, that's tough. All right, let's go take a look at the rest of the game. So, like I said, this game is all just about polish. The game does look a lot better, but in terms of gameplay, it didn't feel all that better or different at all. The body checks did seem to hit a little bit harder. Obviously, you saw there, you could actually injure players if you hit them hard enough. And then, obviously, the menus. The actual presentation of the game is far better, I will say that. If we go through the GM mode and the transaction screen, it's a lot easier to navigate than what it was in NHL 95. So it's just building upon what they put in to NHL 95. But when you stack up year over year, again, you're not playing online. So making sure that you have the latest game wasn't really a huge thing back in the day. There just wasn't enough in this one to justify spending extra money to get the latest new one when you could literally just do everything that you're doing in this one in NHL 95, albeit a just uglier package. Here is the extended look at the regular season mode. So I chose the Sharks. You've got play game, simulate game, NHL standings, the rosters, player stats, league leaders, and all that. And like I said, it looks far better than NHL 95. But you could get away with just using NHL 95 and updating the rosters. As you see here, nice pretty package in terms of the standings. And then, you know, everything in front of you in terms of GM mode. As GM mode now starts to kind of become the forefront of the game, we get away from them focusing on 1v1 and now more into the let's, you know, let everyone play offline and play the GM mode, which is extremely important when you think, again, there was no online play for like another 5 or 6 years. So just it was very good, but again, this is NHL 5's time to shine, not 95's time to shine, not 96. It does look a lot nicer. And then like we do every single game, we take a look at what NHL 92 looked like compared to the latest on that generation of consoles. So this is essentially the latest that we're going to cover Sega Genesis games, because 97, while I know it is on Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, I'm going to play the game on the newest console as early that it does come out. So we're going to talk about NHL 97 as a whole, because it's potentially the worst game ever made. Regardless, so when you compare the two graphics from 92 to 96, you see that it has a huge graphical improvement over the course of this franchise. It's no longer green. The ice now looks a lot more like ice, as well as like the players and the logos as well. So it's obviously come a long way, and it's really nice to see, kind of side by side. So guys, we made it through the early generation of NHL as we do our 30 games in 30 days. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and give the video a like if you did enjoy it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. But man, it has been fun going through all of these old games and just seeing how they still hold up. And I honestly didn't realize, some of the things that I learned about the series early on, like NHL 95 compared to 94. But yeah, guys, stay tuned to the channel as NHL 97 is coming up next, and my goodness, is it bad. I'll see you guys next time.